The water. The water rushes below. We're getting old enough now that we may not live to see each other again. That chance has always been there. But it gets higher. With every year, it gets higher. With every separation. Now that we've both crossed the bridge of middle age. I've looked back. Have you? Hello, and welcome to my art update podcast thingy. This is episode 37, Bridge Over Dirty Water. Just the usual splish splash here. The purpose of this podcast is to update people who know me, Andrew Woolner, about what's been going on creatively for me over the last week. Of course, some life updates are going to get rolled into that too. So you know what? If you don't know me and you've never heard of me and you're just part of the general audience of the internets, well, good golly, Miss Molly, you only have to listen if you want to. Let me just adjust my screen here. God, my eyes are terrible. All right. If this is your first update and you haven't been keeping up with me over the years, I suggest checking out update number 1 and maybe update number 2 to bring yourself, well, up to date before jumping back to this one. Okay. So, I was toying. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you've just sat through this really short poem with a lot of running water. Really hope you're not in a situation where you needed to pee and that made things worse. But I was toying with the idea of releasing these poetry segments separately. I think I talked about this last week. But it occurred to me that some people are listening via the website by clicking on the posts that I make on Facebook. So those people might end up missing those poetry episodes entirely, since they're going to come out simultaneously with these. I can post on Facebook when I release them, but especially if I'm posting them at the same time as I'm posting the update notification, the Facebook algorithm is really super capricious about what people see, so people might not see both posts, or worse, they might only see the poetry ones, and then they're like, what happened to the updates? So yeah, I'm kind of at a loss. I'm going to keep integrating them into the updates themselves for now, probably at the beginning, like I've been doing since the beginning. All right, but anyway, you're not here for any of that explanation. Presumably, you are here for the update. So YTG updates. I met with Marie this week online, of course, because she's still in Germany. Interestingly, Marie is one of the 2 people who contacted me to tell me they actually listened to this thing. So I might be delivering this update to the one person who already has this information, which is an interesting proposition. Anyway, we talked about the November project. I'm really condensing a lot of talking here. We're thinking about doing a project around the theme of consent, and I won't spoil any more of that. I'm going to ask Abby from the Summer Jekyll and Hyde show if she's interested in being involved. I think she's the only person left who doesn't have a full-time job. So I will... I've actually already pinged her. I just haven't had an answer yet because I only did that like an hour ago. Anyway, I'm meeting tomorrow with the JDS owner Noriko to confirm not only the October, November, and December Nerd Night schedule, but just confirming what events are going to be in the space, so that basically I can reset the lights afterwards, and also just to be aware of where we can slot in this mini show, this mini project that Marie and I are talking about. Other theater stuff. I'm doing the annual Kanto Plains Drama Festival this weekend. I'm teaching a workshop there. So that is basically they give me a bunch of high school students and we have to make a show together in like 3 hours. Very stressful. Even a 5-minute show, super stressful. I have some years I've done really well. Some years I've cranked out crap. Really hoping this is not one of the years I crank out crap. But it's the other thing. It's a very early start on Saturday, which will become even more relevant in a moment when we talk about the Nerd Night updates. So that's like, I probably will be getting up at 5:30 to get there on time. I think I was going to check this. Actually, was opening the email just to double check the start time, and yeah, I got distracted. So I don't know. Anyway, the theme this year for that is revolution, which was one of my suggestions, and I believe this may be the first or maybe second time they've actually liked one of my suggestions. And this is the thing, is I was coming off of Jekyll and Hyde when I made this suggestion, and I still had revolution top of my mind, and I'm actually not quite sure what I'm going to do with this now. My strategy, I think, is I'm going to go in with a slightly rewritten version of the song we used in the Jekyll and Hyde show, the Revolution song, and just teach that to the students and then see where it takes us. All right. Nerd Night updates. Nerd Night is this Friday. If you're interested in watching this online or coming in person, the tickets are available at tokyo.nerdnight, N-I-T-E, nerdnight, spelled incorrectly, .com, okay? So head over there, grab those tickets, or just contact me directly, and I will make sure you get those. The live stream is free. There is an option to pay, because of course there is, we're a nonprofit, but the online option is free. And even if you come in person, it's only 1,000 yen, so there you go. I went in Tuesday, which is yesterday, to reprogram the lights because of the new house plot Xander and I set up just after the summer show. So I have to, I had to do some I had to program those because I'm not going to have time to do that on Friday when I'm in there. We have a sort of volunteer problem this month, and I'm worried that I won't have as much setup time as I usually do, because I'll be doing a lot of the sort of non-specialist stuff just because there's just not enough hands. So I did some programming, I hung some LEDs, and yeah, I still have some work to do. I still have to connect and program a couple of the LEDs, but that's going to have to wait till October probably. So as I said, real volunteer problem. No one was available. So no one was available. I put out a personal sort of post on Facebook today. Now I've got enough people. We're still shorthanded, but I think I've got enough people that I can handle the setup. To be honest, even if I get to the point where I have like 6 people helping, if it's all people who are doing this for the first time, 2 is the max, because I have to basically walk them through everything. So it's sort of 2 new people is kind of the limit that I can deal with. But I found someone to do door, which is good. What I don't have anyone for the end of the evening. Right? My volunteers who are coming earlier, they all have to one of them for sure has to leave before 10 p.m. before the show is even over. And another one is probably going to he lives in Tokyo, so his last train is probably fairly early. So my big concern is normally, it would suck if I get stuck there because I'm still cleaning up and I miss my last train. But this weekend in particular, because as I said, Saturday morning, I'm up at 5:30 or maybe 6:30, probably 5:30 to do the Kanto Plains Drama Festival. So I do not want to get stuck in Kawasaki and have to take the first 5:30 train back to Kamioka to grab my stuff and drop off my Nerd Night stuff and then head into the festival. I really don't want to have to do that. Okay. So anyway, really worried about catching my last train on Friday. But you'll find out whether I did or not next week. Podcasting updates. I'm currently working on episode 5 on Miss Charlotte's Finishing School for Wayward Readers, which is pretty good, I thought. I kind of blazed through that in the last week. And Kate Slick, who edited those episodes for me this spring, she did up to 6 or 7, I think, number 6 or number 7. And there's 9 episodes. I got back in touch with her, and actually, without me saying anything, I just got in touch with her to thank her for how much time she'd saved me on the ones that I was revising. Because, like I said, I have to still re-edit them, but I don't have to do as much as I would have if I was still doing the first pass on those. But anyway, so she said she could probably crank out episode 8 by the end of the month. So that'll probably be helpful. I might end up leapfrogging her and doing episode 9 if I get to 8. I'm getting a little bit busier this weekend next, so I'm not sure I'm going to have as much editing time. But or she might get halfway through and then I'll finish the second half or something like that. But anyway, it'll probably still save me time, so that's really, really, really great. What else? Oh, for Does It Hold Up? So moving ahead on production for that, interviewed Kat as a possible co-host for that. I talked about Kat last week, I think. So we should be recording a new pilot soon, and I will probably release it on this feed to see if we can get some feedback on that. From Marie, who's like the person who's listening. Right. Okay, that's it for podcasting. Life updates. I'm just repeating, I'm going to be in Canada this winter. If you're listening to this and you're also going to be in or around Toronto or Kitchener this winter, get in touch. Let's get together. Another life update. This is only significant because if you hear unusual sounds in the background, that's actually the fan. It's still like 30 plus degrees around here, and definitely need to run the air conditioner from about 11 a.m. Now I don't have to run it from 8 a.m. anymore, but I have to run it from 11 a.m. now because the house just gets so hot. And so on, when was it? I think it was Sunday. My wife said to me, well, maybe we should replace your air conditioner because it's getting old. And then when we do that, we can negotiate to have them remove the broken air conditioner in the other room so that we can use that part of the wall for something, because we don't actually need an air conditioner in that room if we have one in the kitchen and the office. And I was like, well, it's kind of, I don't like to do that. My air conditioner is still working. I don't like to replace a piece of equipment that's still working. I go in Monday morning as the room heats up. I turn on my air conditioner and lo and behold, it is broken. So, I don't think my wife is capable of sabotaging an air conditioner. So I don't think that was her, but yeah, that was, pretty wild, the timing on that. So, if you hear a fan in the background, that's why, because I'm running a fan full blast. Anyway, that's it for this week. Until next week, that's me out. Andrew out. That's how I end these things. That's my catchphrase, right? Andrew out.